Okay. Well, as some of you know, I am Mr. Ramirez. I am Mrs. Franklin's semester intern, or graduate semester intern. Today what we're going to be doing is talking about some scholarship information. I made out some packets for you, so if you guys see anything, you guys can keep that information for the next lesson and lessons after that. It's going to be about 20-30 minutes today. Today what we're going to do, like I said, is just going to run through a PowerPoint, a little discussion, and then there's a quick questionnaire after that, and I'll give you all some writing utensils. So, first thing I have up here is education costs money, but then so does ignorance. Anyone want to take a stab at what that means?
It costs money.
Yeah, basically, education does cost money, and whatever you don't know will cost you money as well. If you don't know that there's a scholarship for you, if you don't know there's an aid for you, that's going to cost you money because you could have been getting that money. Companies are actually trying to give you money. So if you're out there and you're really trying to get it, you can get it. Okay. All right. So like I said, what we'll cover in this lesson today is scholarship and financial aid information, the types of scholarships and information, how to find these scholarships, how to apply for them, and any scams to be aware of. There's a lot of money available to help you pay for college. Student scholarships, financial aid will help you bridge the gaps between costs that college is going to be and what you and your family can afford. Student aid includes money from federal, state governments, money from colleges themselves, scholarships from foundations, private organizations, and companies. Types of student financial aid. There are gift aids, which are grants, scholarships, which people love because they don't have to be repaid. You have student employments, such as work-study jobs, learn as you earn or earn as you learn. Student loans, which everyone I'm sure is aware of, they do have to be repaid now. Not all of them are being repaid right away. A lot of them you do have to start repaying them after you graduate. There are the education tax benefits, such as the Hope Scholarship. Now, the Hope Scholarship is a tax credit. The Hope Scholarship is a credit that education benefit allows taxpayers a credit of up to $2,500 per student if they paid qualified tuition and related expenses for the first 4 years of post-secondary education. So your parents will like that. Military student aid, such as ROTC and GI Bill, where you can earn money for your exchange and service in the United States Armed Forces, if any of you are planning on doing that. Best types of student aid. Anyone want to take a guess on which one that is?
Scholarships.
Scholarships and grants, exactly. And again, that's just because they don't have to be repaid. Mm-hmm. Some funds are awarded based on financial need. Some funds are based on academic, artistic, athletic skills, or volunteer hours. So if any of you have an outstanding amount of volunteer hours, be sure to look at stuff like that. Some funds are based on unusual criteria, which I have a link to a website here, which you can look up. Create a prom costume out of duct tape. Anyone want to do that? There's a scholarship for that. Anyone who's left-handed? Wish I would have known that. I definitely would have used that. I'm left-handed. Scholarship for students with the last name of Zolp. I know all three of you, and unless you decide on changing your last names, sorry, you can't get that one. But there's a bunch of them. There's a GIF contest, which I'd love to talk about, which is $25,000 for if you can come up with the craziest GIF sandwich.
May not become a reality without the help of additional money. And there's nearly $3 billion out there just waiting to be claimed. College admissions expert Catherine Cohen is the founder and CEO of IvyWise. Good morning, Kat. Good to have you here.
Good morning.
And I know there's a big deadline coming up. March 31st is a deadline for a lot of these scholarships. And we're talking about free money here, right? So
yes, unlike
important
loans,
to get on board.
You don't have to pay them back. And so we're telling students to research and apply to as many good fit scholarships as possible because time is money. And for that March 31st deadline, there is still time. So students should get working right away.
Right. And the application process in itself, I mean, let's get to some of the criteria. How do some of these scholarship committees determine who makes for a good fit for their scholarships?
Well, there's scholarships out there for high school students, undergraduates, graduate students, and the criteria vary from scholarship to scholarship, but a lot of them are going to look at a student's GPA, test scores, resume, essays, letters of recommendation, and oftentimes they're going to want to do some kind of an interview.
And you mentioned there's so many different types of scholarships out there: university, heritage, career, corporate, regional, and then some other unusual scholarships.
Unusual ones. So yeah, I love this because there's literally thousands of scholarships out there. So there's one if you're great at calling a duck, and there's one for wearing the best duct tape outfit to the prom.
Really? So
yeah.
There's something for everyone.
There is
You just have to know where to find it.
Exactly. And then there's, of course, the bigger ones, like the corporate ones, like Coca-Cola offers 250 high school seniors up to $20,000.
Yeah.
Those tend to be more competitive. Also, universities offer their own scholarships. Mm-hmm. So they'll offer merit-based scholarship based on a student's academic, athletic, or artistic achievements. And sometimes they'll even offer full tuition. And those are called trustee scholarships or presidential scholarships.
Now, because there are so many scholarships out there, how do you go about finding them?
Well, the first place to look is online. There's free online tools where basically you can put in your information, your profile, your background, what your interests are, your abilities, and these tools are going to match you with the right scholarship. So you can look at fastweb.com, collegeboard.com, and scholarships.com. And you can also ask your high school guidance counselor. They're going to often recommend students for certain scholarships. Also look at a college's website. There's usually a scholarship section right on the website.
They make it easy for you. Now, one of the big things you have to make sure is you don't make mistakes in the application process, because that immediately will throw that scholarship opportunity perhaps out the window. So what are some things that you need to be aware of?
Well, first of all, the most competitive scholarships have thousands of applicants. So if you don't meet the criteria, or you haven't followed directions, filling out the application, then you're going to be disqualified in the first round. So you definitely want to think about making sure that you complete everything, all the components of the application. Do it on time.
Don't forget to sign the forms.
Exactly. Sign the forms. Follow directions. So many students forget about this. Make sure somebody's proofreading your application.
Reading the fine print.
Exactly. Yeah. Reading the fine print. And you don't want to just write one generic application and send it to multiple scholarships. Look at each scholarship's criteria. So you're not going to send that MP3 of your duck call to a scholarship that's looking, more at your academics and your grades.
And you say you also may have to reapply every year to continue the scholarship, right?
Exactly. Don't assume that a scholarship is going to be awarded for 4 years in a row. A lot of them are going to ask you to reapply, and they'll also require you to, for example, maintain a certain GPA to get it that following year.
And one thing you should be aware of, there are scholarship scams out there. What are some of the things that you should look out for if your student is applying?
There are. You don't want to look at a scholarship that's asking for any kind of an application fee or fees of any kind. And you also don't pay attention to scholarships that promise you guaranteed winnings. They're usually going to be scams.
And you say, lastly, to apply for fewer scholarships, but that offer big awards, or actually apply for a greater number of scholarships that are offered perhaps a little bit less rather than the big scholarships.
Smaller awards. Yeah, so if you're looking at more local scholarships or scholarships that have more unique criteria, you're oftentimes going to get smaller applicant pools, so you'd have a greater chance of winning those scholarships. And scholarships range from a couple $100s to full tuition, and every little bit counts. It all adds up. So it's definitely worth it to apply for as many scholarships as you qualify for.
Absolutely. Free money, as you said.
Yes.
So go for it.
Yes.
Kat Cohen, it's always great to have you here. Great information.
Thank you so much.
Really enjoy that video. It will a couple redundant information, but it's always good to have it either way. No. Right there. Yep. Oh, all right, good. So, yeah, as I said, some of the stuff we've already talked about, some stuff we will be talking about. Got a lot of really good information. If you could space bar me over, thank you. How do you find these scholarships? A lot of good online resources are, she said, FastWeb. The reason they're underlined there is because they actually put together a nice little setup. Collegeboard.com, scholarships.com, scholarshipowl.com. Again, all in your packets right here. These sites will match all your personal stuff, so that way all the scholarships that apply to you, all the aids that apply to you will go ahead and just show up on that list. Also, the universities or trade schools that you're going to will offer these type of scholarships and aid as well. Other ways to find scholarships. Your guidance counselors, they know a couple things or two about scholarships. They could recommend some to you. You could also find scholarships in your local public library. Monster College is a great place to look. Local businesses in your community. If you've been a part of any of the local businesses or you know anyone in local businesses, it's great to have a good network. Just ask people. One of the greatest things they said is word of mouth gets out there. You might know someone, if you're in let's say the robotics class or you do the robotics team. Ask your coach or ask your teacher, hey, do you know any scholarships going around? They might not at the moment, but they might talk to someone later on and be like, hey, so-and-so was talking to me about looking for scholarships, and next thing you know, there's a network right there for you, and now you can apply for a scholarship there. So just ask people. I mean, if you just trying to get every possible outlet so you can get more money. Because, if I'm just giving you free money, why wouldn't you take it? Start searching for scholarships and financial aid ASAP. The more time you have, because some of these have deadlines and stuff like that, the more time you have, the more money you can get. You can also still apply while you're doing the whole application process, while you're enrolled. You can some of them that are continuously rotating, you can continue to apply to them. So do it. How do you apply for scholarships? Okay. Other than just actually doing the application, many scholarships require short essays, letters of recommendation, high school transcripts. If you become a finalist, some scholarships will conduct the in-person or telephone interview. If you win the scholarship, the sponsor will hold the money until you have enrolled in college, and then they will send a check to the college to help you with your college costs. More than just money. The organizations that award scholarships are focused on more than just giving away money. They want to create good resources for them. They want to create a family of people who they've helped out. Because if they see potential in you and they award you money, maybe one day you're working for their company and they see you as a great asset. So this builds a great community for them of scholarship recipients. Don't lose your scholarship. Now that you have it, you worked so hard to get it, let's not lose them. One, obviously by not doing good in school, but some of the other ones are, some scholarships are renewable, which means you have to get money you have to renew every year in order to get your scholarships. Often you will need good grades, obviously. You might also need to involve some community service hours or other activities. That's just part of what getting that money is. And then beware of scholarship scams. As you heard in the video, anything more than just a postage stamp is too much money. If they're offering, hey, we're going to offer you a scholarship, send us $50. No, don't do it. Or, guaranteed scholarships, $10,000 for you. You're absolutely guaranteed to get the scholarship. No one can guarantee a scholarship. Yeah, there's an actual process to it. So that's why it's all regularized, and you got to make sure that you're just not going to get scammed. If you have any questions about it, again, come ask us. We're more than happy to say, hey, let's dig a little deeper because this doesn't look right. And I believe that was our last slide, so I do appreciate your attention. One last thing I have here, but before I get to that, anyone have any information about the video that they liked, or any questions, or anything that they particularly picked up that they didn't know before?
I didn't know there were such strange and unusual scholarships.
Yeah, researching the topic a little more, I didn't know either. Especially when you dig a little deeper to them. I just picked out a couple that I thought were really cool, but yeah, the GIF one, the duct tape, duck call, they're all really, really cool. Any other parts of knew pretty much a little bit about the scholarship process and all that stuff? Good. All right, so here is a quick questionnaire. And you're going to be I'll be giving this back to you for the second lesson. So If you need a pen, just let me know. I'll grab you one.